Hello my beautiful people, how are you doing? I hope you are doing good. Yes, before we start, I want to say thanks so much for your love towards me. I am going ahead because you guys are behind me. So thanks so much for each of you. Those who follow me on Facebook, and those who subscribe to my YouTube channel, and those who follow me on Instagram, I want to say thanks so much. For me to you is love. So in our last video, I just show you some of the things that we need to know before drafting on our trouser. So today I've come out with this video how to draft the trouser proper, because in the last video I told you that we are going to draft the trouser. So today video we are going to draft the trouser. So stay tuned as I will take you to the drafting. And for those who don't know me, I'm Jackie Fashion. You can find me on YouTube as Jackie Fashion, on Facebook Jackie Fashion and Show, on Instagram Jackie Fashion. So those are my social media names that you can search and you will see. And let's go on our work table to see what we have to do, or how are we going to draft the trouser. Here are the two materials I'm going to draft trouser. So these two are for one person, so I'm going to draft the two trousers together. So you stay with me as I'm going to join the two trousers and draft it together. Somebody will say, how is she going to do it? So just stay tuned and watch how I'm going to join these two materials together and draft my trouser. So stay tuned and let's do it together. I love you guys. So first thing I'm going to do now is to place my material on the table. So this is like the materials. You see how they are looking, they are so beautiful. So this two is for one person, and I have my zip already to sew the pants, and I have my scissors, my ruler, my cuff ruler, and my pan cuff with my tape. So we are good to go. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to place my material on the table. So just watch me how I'm going to do that. So guys, our material is ready. I've placed it on the table. It's two. You cannot imagine. You see that? This is the other color at the bottom, and this is the other one on top. Why I do it like that is because the black is like a little bit dark in the light. So I decided to put the black at the bottom, then I put this color at the top. So if you have somebody that you want to do it, and maybe your customer gives you 3, 4, 5 trousers, you're like, how are you going to be cutting one? This is how I do it. This is how I do it. So let's start. The measurement we are going to go with, we will go with the waist of 33, hips for 41, thigh for 26, knee length, knee, that is round knee, for 17, then ankle, that is round foot, is round feet for 15, and is full length for 27. 37. So let's go straight to our drafting, no wasting of time. Remember, before you want to draft, for all my videos, I always ask you to get a starting point. So now I'm going to get my starting point. I always take ½ inch, even at the end the ½ inch will still go inside. So I always take ½ inch as my starting point. Why I'm taking that? Because sometimes some materials, they are short. You need to manage it in order to give the customer what the customer need. Yeah, so I'm good of like managing. So in my
former video that I dropped, that I was talking of how you can take your size, like horizontal measurement and vertical measurement. So if you haven't watched that, you have to watch it in order for you to understand. So now I'm going to start inserting my lines, my guidelines that I'm going to use. So first I have to take 1.5 for my band, that is it. Then I'm going to insert his cross line. So in order for me to insert his cross line, I took his hip measurement, I divided by 4, and whatsoever I have, I'm going to insert as his cross line. So his hip is 41 divided by 4, so I'm going to have 10.25. so I will insert my 10.25. I mark my 10.25. Remember to off your 1.5. This 1.5 is going to serve at your band, so it's not supposed to be included. So his length is 37, so I insert my 37. If my camera is not up to here, I'm going to bring it. Then I have add 3 inch for his full allowance. So now, in order for us, so I'm going to do the same at this line, 37. Then I add 3 inch. Just get what I'm saying. So here is the cross. I'm going to roll the cross, then I turn my camera so that you can see the downer part. And I'm also going to roll my line here in order for this to remove these edges. That's the only aim we are rolling the line at this part, because I don't really like the edges when I'm doing something. So now we need to get our knee line. Just like I tell you, I'll be taking you around to show you how it look. Okay, this is the length. I told you the length is 37. So here is 37, then I add 3 inch for fold allowance. Okay, here is the hip line. Okay, now we are going to look for the knee line. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to place my tape at this line. Then I put where this line, where my length end, that is from his waist to where he wants the trouser to end. So I'm going to place my tape like this. As I'm placing my tape like this, then whatever I have here, I'm going to divide it by 2. So here I have 27. So 27 divided by 2, 27. Okay, now we have 27, which is 13.5. 13.5. Here is 13.5. So from this 13.5, I'm going to go up by 2 inch. So from here, this 13.5, I'm going to go up by 2 inch. So I mark my 2 inch like that. So what do we have now? 11.5 for his knee length. If you don't want to take the size of the person, this is how you're going to do it. So I insert my 11.5. Then all our lines ready. So now we are going to start inserting our measurement. So I'm going to shift it a little bit down. That is what I'll be doing because it's really going to disturb us here. So guys, I did not shift it, I just decided to turn my camera. So first I'm going to go here. I'm going to take 1/2 inch from this line that I marked behind here. I'm going to go with 1/2 inch like that. Okay, now I'm going to insert the hip measurement. So the hip, our hip is 41 divided by 4. We have 10 and a quarter. We insert 10 and a quarter here. So now I have to insert my waist measurement. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take whatever I have here. I have 10 3/4, so I'm going to bring the 10 3/4 up here like this. Then I will place the 10 3/4 as the same this line. Then I come back by 1/2 inch. So I've come back by 1/2 inch. By the time I'll rule my line, you'll see that it's slant. You see that? Okay, so now I'm going to insert my waist measurement. So the measurement for my waist is 33. 33 divided by 4, we have 8 and a quarter. So I place my 8 and a quarter. Then I add 1 inch for my seam allowance. So I'm going to rule my line from here to here. So this place now is going to be, so from here I'm supposed to come down by 1 inch, but I'm not going to take 1 inch because later I'm going to add 1/2 inch for my seam allowance. So now I'm just going to come down by 1/2 inch. You see, this is 1 inch and I'm supposed to go back by 1/2 inch, so I just come down by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do the same from this line. I'm going to go up by 1/2 inch, so no need because I take 1/2 inch down. So I'm just going to draw my line like that. So that is how it's supposed to look. Okay, now I'm going to insert my my thigh measurement. My thigh is 20. My thigh is 26. Sorry, I'm really wasting your time. So 26 divided by 2, we got 18. So we place it like that and we rule line. You see that? So now I'm going to go to my knee. So what I used to do in this knee is I get what I have here, 10 and a quarter, 10 and 3/4. So I'm going to divide this 10 3/4 like that. This is my 10 3/4. I'm going to divide it into 2. So whatever I have, I will place it here from this line like this. So this is what I usually do. So I will also take from this line, I will also take it here and put at my ankle line. So I will do that, then later I will flip my camera so that you can see. So as I do it like this, let me mark it here also. So I'm going to rule my line. This is the line that I will use to insert my knee. Why I'm doing that? Because I want the trouser to have shape. When it's going down, it should have shape. So now I'm going to insert my knee. My knee is 17. 17 divided by 2, we have 18 and a half. I mean, we have 8 and a half. So 8 and a half, this is 8 and this is half. So we are going, I'm going to take 4 and a quarter this way and 4 and a quarter this way. That is making 8. Making 8 and a half, sorry. So I'm marking like that. This is my 8 and a half. Then you see from this line is not direct. This is 4. So this is 4 and a quarter. So I mark like that. So I just connect this line before I will turn my camera and place at my downer part, and let's draft it. So here is the line that we divide, that I told you that when we divide it, we got, what do we have? Okay, so here is the line that we divide, understand? Yeah, so I'm going to rule my line, this same line that we divide and bring it down. So I'm going to room a line. I didn't room a line there because the camera did not reach there. So now I'm going to insert the ankle length or the foot round. Let me say it like that. So many people call it ankle, so many people call it foot round. So the foot round is 15 divided by 2, we have 7.5. So 7.5 divided by 2, we have 3.75. Why is divided by 2 again? Because I want the trouser to have shape. So I'm going to take 3.75 this way, 3.75 this way, making 7.5. So that's why I divided by 2. So in order to that, this is my 7.5. So you see, I place it here because I want both of them to have the same, and let the trouser to have the same shape. Let some side should not be big and some side look like. So that is the reason I'm dividing it like that. Make sure everything be okay. Yeah. So I'm going to connect all my dotted points like that, like this. So now I'm going to connect from here to here and from here to here. So this is what I'm going to do. I place my ruler like that. Wow, I can see the shape already coming out, guys. Please, if you haven't subscribed or follow me on my Facebook page, you have to do that. Okay, at this position I need to come with my palm cuff. This is what they call palm cuff. Then when I'm placing my palm cuff, I'm going to take off 5. So I will place my 5 here. So I place my 5 at this line there like that, to make my trouser more shape, have more fitting. Oh my goodness, guys, just see that. I'm Jackie Fashion. At least you have to give me something. You have to say something. You have to say something at the comment section. So guys, okay, what I'm going to do at this place, I'm just going to curve my crush. This is where I'm going to insert my zip. So I just curve it like that. Guys, I'm done with the drafting. Okay, I just want to shift it a little bit down. Okay, there. All right, you can see this line, and I add 1 inch. Maybe you don't understand why I add 1 inch. This 1 inch is for, I'm going to sew 1/2 inch here, and I'll also put my dart at this point. So in order for darting, let me put my dart so that let's see. So in order for me to put my dart, I always take what I have here, I divide it by 2. So I have 9 1/4. So 9.5. So 9.5, I'm going to divide it by 2. Whatever I have, I add here. So 9.5 is going to be 4.75. So I mark my 4.75. Now I add 1 inch. So I'm going to take half inch in the both side like that. So the 1 inch that I add here, I've already put it here. So that is how it works. So guys, now we are good to cut. So just stay tuned and let's cut together. Guys, let's cut. Before you cut your dress, you make sure your material is placed where on the table. You check everywhere, and you make sure your size is okay, your measurements are okay. Then you do your cutting. It's nice. that my camera could not focus. I'm really sorry. That is my issue. I've been suffering for some time now. Okay, at this place where we have to cut the back, we adjust it. So all this extra allowance in front, this one like this that you see, I'm going to cut it now, so that let this place should have the same shape. So there I go. I will show you the downer part later. That is how I'm suffering for my camera, because I don't have where to place my camera. So here I'm just going to cut this one. You remember we are cutting two together. We are cutting two trousers together. I hope you know that, guys. Okay, now at this back part, some people usually just add 2 inch behind, but I'm just going to show you another method that you have to do that. So first thing we will do is we are going to take our hip. Our hip was 41 divided by 4, we got 10.5. So now you're going to place your 10.5 like this. From this line, you're going to start from this line and you place your 10.5. Whatever you have as added here is going to be your crush at the back. So from here, I place my tape right from this place to get my 10.25. It was 10.25, sorry. So what is added now is, where's my chalk? So let me see what is added. So I have 2 inch, so it's okay for me to add 2 inch behind. But that is the best way you can do in order for you not to have a mistake. Yeah, because at times you'll find out that you do it like that, for somebody it becomes short. So whatever you have here at the crotch is what you are going to insert. But from this knee, from knee down, you're supposed to add 2 inch. But at times at the crotch, sometimes somebody it will fall at 2.5, somebody will fall at 3. That is how it depends on the hip of the person. So that is why. So I just pull this behind like this and place it where the marks of my chalk are. Then I'll try to balance it for anywhere that is not okay. So you can see now that we have extension. We have extension of 2.25. Guys, the highest thing you could do for when you're cutting is to balance your dress. You have to balance it very well. Make sure your material sit on the table right well. So now I'm just going to extend this like this slant. Then I'm just going to take this line to upward like that. So from this place, I'm going to add half 1.5. Because why am I adding half 1.5? Because your hip is more bigger. Your hip behind is not the same with your crotch in front. You always know that your hip, when you're wearing your pants, your trouser, anything, it has to go up. So that is the reason I'm adding 1.5. I'm adding this 1.5 should the case that let it not be that is hanging at the waist level. So that is the reason for the 1.5. So now I'm just going to add 1.5 to here, but later I will slant it. I always look at my ruler. I don't know what is wrong with me. So I rule my line. So from this line, I'm going to come in by 1.5, so that if in the case that it gets short for the person, like it become tight, I have to open it behind here. So this is the right place for me to open if it become tight or anything. So you have to take note of that. You see the way I'm doing mine, I just dot it and it just okay. So now I'm just going to mash this line right up to here. the back of your trousers is always slant. So now I'm going to remove what I'm having here. Remember, I add 1/2 inch for seam allowance. I've already add my 1/2 inch here because I place my tape from here. I take 1.5. So if I remove this 1/2 inch, then I place my tape, you see that is 2. So I've already add my 1/2 inch. You see how it look? So I'm just going to cut the back part. Let me show you the downer side, how it look like before I cut. You see that? So I'm just going to cut it off. Sorry guys, I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. So from this back part, I'm going to measure the waist. So the waist was 33, which is 8 1/4. Then I'm going to add 1 inch. So this 1 inch is going to serve as the dart behind. So I'm just going to connect my line. So I'm just going to connect my line straight. So let's finish the cutting. Guys, we are done for this video for today. Please, if you love my video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share me. Drop your comment at the comment section. Please, if you're on Facebook, you follow me as Jackie Fashion and Show. On Instagram, Jackie Fashion. On YouTube, Jackie Fashion. So I'm done for the video of today. So let me just give my dart at the back. So I'm going to start from here. I take my whatever I have 10, so I'm going to mark 5. Then I add 1 inch, so I'm going to take 1/2 inch at the both side. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for staying with me. You will see me in my next video, or I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to share this channel. Please like, share, please. Thank you. You will see me. Bye bye. I love you.